Behold, my glorious supporter, AGingerMonster, asks what creative ways I can think of to say that I am worthless. Now listen, put down the pitchforks. This question is was apparently a ongoing Discord joke that AGingerMonster had with other people on a different server, and it's not meant to make me feel bad about myself. At least I hope not. But I do not have any funny answers to this question, and I actually grappled with this question for a while, a long while. So I'm going to answer it rather dryly, and I hope that you will indulge me. Um, yeah, like what is worthless about me? A lot of stuff. I think for a lot of people, like we human beings are just no good at like a huge majority of things. So the thing about me is that my experience of myself is that I am rounded rather than having a specialty. And I have often felt bad about that in my life. But the reality is that that is a great thing because most people are nearly useless at almost everything. And they're like pretty good at one thing. The way I often talk about it is like people will be maybe like a three in like most things. They might go up to a five or a six in a few things, maybe a hobby. And then at their career, they're like an eight or a nine out of 10. They are really good, like almost unsurpassingly good at like the thing, but everything else they're significantly below average at. You like to the point of maybe not even being able to do it is what I mean, let alone being good at it. Where a five is like you can do it and it's like serviceable. Your abilities are serviceable. So, for example, like I cannot knit. I just don't know how. I mean, I'm sure I could if I learned, but I don't know how. If I learned, like if I looked it up on the internet and tried to do it, uh, and I am what I'm carving out as a niche for like most people, my skill level is probably going to be around a three or a four. Like I can sort of almost do it, kind of, and it's not very good. Somebody who, even someone really bad at specializing in it, can do it better than this every person I'm talking about can. For me, my experience is that rather than it being a combination of threes and fours and fives and then a nine, I'm kind of just like a six at everything, and I can't get any better. I This is my own mental image of it. I'm not don't it's fine. My self esteem is okay, but I also experience nearly automatically being better than just anyone at most things, but not any better than that. And that might sound like really good and really bad. The thing is that when I say that, it sounds overpowered from a balancing perspective, which is, of course, what we're talking about. But the reality is that all humans are just terrible at like most things. Like we are very bad at mediating our emotions. We are very bad at being logical and thinking things through. I, the philosopher gamer in the flesh, am horrible at maintaining my own like mental strata. Like if I have a system for doing something, I still fail to maintain that system a lot. I would say I am a six at maintaining that system. I am better than average, but not much better than average. And I contradict myself a lot and notice and feel bad and make the wrong decision because of it, and etc. Humans are just not good at that. Like I can say I'm a six, but it's like if a 10 from humanity is like a one on the cosmic scale. Like even the best human at mediating their emotions and maintaining a logical through line is still horrible at it. They're just a 10 compared to the rest of humanity. I might be a 6 compared to the rest of humanity or whatever, but that's still like a meaningless. It's still incompetent is the point. And that's what my little scale ignores is that like yeah sure relative to other people I might be able to pick things up like rather fast. I'm a natural learner, great, but the reality is that a lot of those things like everyone is bad at, so being better than average at a bunch of things that in the grand scheme of things everyone still sucks at is actually pretty bad. Like that's not valuable. So I don't know. I don't. That is not a good quality of me. That is a nearly worthless aspect of me that has been redeemed by this career. Like being able to do a bunch of different things and manage everything by myself, with some delegation that you've all encouraged me to do more of. Thank you, because that was a very healthy moment for me. is a good fit for somebody like me, because otherwise having sort of like a bit better than average at everything, like when you want something, anything, like you don't want like a little bit better than average version, you want a really good version. Even like I've recently been experiencing and appreciating how fast food is actually pretty good. Like it's not good for you. And a lot of it is like fairly bad, but like if you go to like I went to Burger King the other day and I got a burger. I forget, I don't know Burger King's menu. I got a burger. And it was pretty good. Like it was quite a good burger. Like it was not I went to go get a burger real quick. I remember when I was a lot younger, like 5 or 7 or something. And I'd go to McDonald's and get like two. They have these like one at the time, these $1 cheeseburgers, and I would get like two of those. And like those were pretty bad. They were not good. So I don't know if it's just like recently, but like even if you only want to pay like a low amount and you just want to get a burger really quick and like you're not planning to spend a lot, you're willing for it to be like not the best, even then it's almost like even the worst burger you can get is still better than a 6. You know what I mean? Like I would say that Burger King burger was like a 7 or an 8 easily. Like it was good. And then like when I go to, there's a local place that I really like that we get burgers at. They have lots of different kinds of burgers. They have a very good salmon burger. They have a very good Beyond Burger too, and just normal beef burgers and a bunch of stuff. And that burger is like an 11. That burger is like changes my understanding of how good a burger can be. So to say that like the best you can get breaks the scale and the worst you can get is still better than like what I'm gonna be able to make probably. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's not that good. Like it sounds like, oh, you're really versatile, but it's like, well, okay. I mean, in a world full of billions of people, like I don't need to do everything. I don't need to do anything. So what would be valuable would be if I was really good at something and I'm not. Like so I don't know. Again, like I hope you can tell, like I find this rather funny. I find it an amusing quality of myself, but it is basically worthless in a certain respect. Like it makes me think about my schooling and like what isn't that not supposed to be how it works? Like you study one thing and then you're a lot better at that. And it's like I feel like I'm better than average at English. And maybe that's propped up by like a lot of people are a lot worse than just worse than average at English. Like I feel like I've rarely met another human who I thought from like a grammar, like not English the language, but like English as like a good writing English measurement. I feel like I've rarely met people that are better than a 2 at English. It's very unusual that like I read a piece of writing and I'm like, this is a 5 at writing in this language. And that doesn't mean I'm not saying I'm really good at it. I'm saying I'm a 6 at it. I'm just saying not a lot of people are as high as a 6 is actually pretty good for that. So there is again that sort of counterplay of humans are just bad at a lot of, apparently the current humanity is just not very good at writing in English. Like I don't know what it is, but like apparently we're just bad at that. So me having only an above average level of competency at that is actually not that bad. Like that's actually pretty good. And the result of taking such a general topic as my college major, as English, the major that is essentially a non-major, it's just in my opinion shouldn't even be a major. You just need to be able to write well to be an effective person in society, in my opinion. But apparently I'm wrong because nobody else is a weird outcome. And I do think I'm happy that my parents don't feel like it was a waste of time to go to college. I don't feel like it was either, but not because of the schooling. And it's weird to be in that situation. So I don't know. That's a worthless quality of mine. Again, I don't mind. Like if anything, I'm proud of that experience of myself. And maybe that's not true. Maybe from other people's perspective, it's like, no, that's not true. Like you're good at all this stuff. Like you're great at all this stuff. I don't know. It's just my experience of me. Is that I frequently admire other people's incredible skill at one thing, but then I don't feel like the grass is greener because then I see like everything else and I'm like, maybe I'm not so bad off. Like it's not so bad, but not because it really has all this much worth, just because overall I think like the lifestyle that results from that is actually not that bad. That was a creative, colorful way to say that I was worthless, right? That qualifies. Sometimes when the question is like something that I don't have an easy response for, I'm gonna have to give this kind of answer that's like maybe not what you were looking for, but like I will give an answer. Like I will answer the question. It's just a matter of like, is it gonna be what you wanted? Not necessarily. And if you ever ask a question and you're wondering, like, I don't really want like a random answer to this, like if you have something to say about it, that's fine. And if not, just let me know. You can ask. Like I don't mind. I don't think this question is like that. I expect Ginger will be okay with this response, but I don't want to disappoint people. Like you all are supporting me, and there's only so much time I can spend on these. I do kind of have to ad lib them and write show notes, but at the same time, like I want to give you an answer that satisfies you. So I I've been Zandy, and I want to thank the Ginger Monster very much for their support. This was a it was a rough ending. Goodbye.